This is the story of Saint Bernadette. She was born on January 7th, 1844, in the town of Lourdes, France. She was the eldest of 9 children, 4 in heaven. She was born into a prosperous family, but after a series of unfortunate events, they became poor. They lived in an old prison cell, which was converted to a single-room home.
From an early age, Bernadette suffered from many illnesses that led to her being asthmatic. Because her family was so poor, she was uneducated and unable to read and write, which in turn made her life harder than other children her age.
This is not a vibe. Come on, get out. Time for supper. Where have you been?
We were out playing by the river.
Okay, go wash up. It's time for supper.
Later that night, Bernadette went to sleep, thinking nothing of tomorrow. But little did she know, tomorrow would be the day her life would change forever. On February 11th, 1858, at the age of 14, Bernadette had her first encounter with the Virgin Mary. Bernadette, along with her brother and friend, went to gather some firewood, and they came across the river. They crossed the river to look for more wood, but Bernadette being asthmatic, her brother suggested she stay back, since the water was too cold.
Bernadette, how about you stay behind? Because you're a little heavy.
As Bernadette sat near a tree, she felt the wind get stronger, and the air around her began to get colder. She looked around and saw everything was still, except for a rose bush near a grotto.
Am I tripping?
A glowing light appeared from the grotto. Bernadette approached it out of curiosity. Bernadette sees a bright figure of a woman. Suddenly, the Virgin Mary appeared to her, dressed in all white except for a blue scarf wrapped around her waist. Bernadette, seeing this, was afraid, yet felt an attraction to the figure. So she fell to her knees and started praying the rosary, reciting the Ave Maria for every beat. She attempted to make the sign of the cross, but her arms became weak and could not do it. It wasn't until the Virgin herself made the sign of the cross that Bernadette was able to do it. Bernadette began to cross the river. At this time, the water was no longer cold, and she was able to cross it. Bernadette met up with her brother and friend on the other side, and they noticed she was silent.
Why haven't you said anything to us? Did something happen?
If you don't tell us what's wrong, I'm telling Father.
Alright, but don't snitch.
When they arrived at home, Bernadette was scolded by her parents. after the brother had told them what Bernadette had said. They didn't believe her and forbade her from coming back to the grotto. The next morning, Bernadette convinced her mother to let her go back to the grotto. This time, 12 girls from the town accompanied her. Once again, Mary appeared inside the grotto, but only Bernadette was able to see her. One of the girls that came with her brought holy water and gave it to Bernadette to see if this vision was evil or not. Bernadette sprinkled some holy water into the air and said, "Come closer if you are God." But she forgot to say, "If you are the devil, then go."
My bad.
The girls, seeing Bernadette's devotion, fell to their knees and started praying the rosary. By now the word had spread through the town of the sights she had seen. Her parents again told her to stop visiting the grotto because she was drawing too much attention to herself. The next day, Bernadette went with her uncle and a sister from the congregation of the Children of Mary to go visit the grotto after they had convinced her mother to allow it. This was the third visit. Along with them, they brought a blessed candle, as well as a pen and paper to record anything the lady had to say to them. Once again, only Bernadette was able to see her, so they told her to ask if she had a message for the people of Lourdes. She had instructed Bernadette to come back for the next 15 days. On the fifth visit, the lady taught Bernadette a new prayer that she recited every day for the rest of her life.
Wait, what was it again? Oh, okay, I got it.
Several hundreds of people had gathered around the grotto on the sixth day. Dr. Duges, a prominent physician of Lourdes, was also present on that day and indicated that nothing was wrong with Bernadette's health. The lady told Bernadette to pray for sinners that day. Many people wanted the imperial procurator to forbid Bernadette from going back to the grotto. The police took her in for questioning and said that if she were to go back to the grotto, then she would be sent to prison. But Bernadette was not afraid and was insistent on going back. On the seventh day, Bernadette kissed the ground near the rosebush, and the Virgin entrusted her with 3 secrets. A miracle occurred on the 9th day. The lady said to drink from the fountain, but Bernadette was confused because there hadn't been a fountain.
I know it's not me.
She then proceeded to scratch the ground in front of her, and little by little, water began to appear. On the 10th visit, a stream appeared where Bernadette had been before. The lady instructed that they kiss the ground before her, and they did. On the 11th visit, 2,000 people showed up to the grotto. It was on this day that the Virgin instructed the people of Lourdes, France, to build a chapel next to the grotto. For the next 2 days, the Virgin did not say a word to them, since they ignored her wishes, till the 14th visit, where she repeated herself to the people. On the 15th visit, 20,000 people showed up to the site, as well as the entire French military. The next day, on the Feast of the Annunciation, the lady revealed her identity to them as the Immaculate Conception. On the same day, Bernadette placed her hand over the burning candle, and it had no effect on her hand. After seeing Dr. Duges place another candle under Bernadette's hand, and it burned her, so they shut down the altar they began to build. On the 16th and final apparition, the lady appeared for the last time. Bernadette once said, "I fear nothing, because I have always told the truth." It is so, this truth that we have remained faithful, the truth concerning the people and places, truth in the deeds and words, truth of the souls, nothing but the truth, even when it seems unbelievable.
Has something happened?
This nigga was
For his family. They became four.
We're good.
Yo!